weeks, we have discussed the significance of following our passion from the rules that we need to fully understand. The opportunities and goals we have to set in order for us to live by example.
Recently, we have also invited few individuals to talk about their own experiences on how they manage to find and share their God-given talents for the glory of God.
Today and for the weeks to come, we will focus more on building our characters, know its value, and learn how important it is as we pursue our calling, our true purpose in life. A professional digital photographer and non-linear videographer with an average of up to 400 shoots in a year, both locally and internationally together with over 15 in-house professional photographers under his multimedia company.
A certified PADI Master Scuba Diver Trainer with specializations in wreck, deep and air nitrox, underwater diving program.
Composed the song We Can Make It by a local band called Oriental, which was later translated to a Tagalog version entitled Pagsulong, and reached the triple platinum status of the music industry.
One of the highly creative businessmen who started his career as early as 18 years old, founded and managed several events, staging and marketing communication companies like Concept Plus, Wishcraft Incorporated, Procraft, SetCheck, formerly known as Stage Monster, Post Adventure, Imagination, to name a few.
After discovering God's purpose for leading him into his career, together with his wife, Pastor Monique Lopez-Ong, who is a breastfeeding advocate, a positive multitasker, a seasoned event host, and show director, a homeschool teacher of their lovely kids, the managing director of their business, and who is described by many as a person full of life, who thrive in highly stressful situations and still manages to smile. They decided to have a 100 degrees turn around and focus on having Jesus as the main CEO. An audience of all their companies, their family, their life as a whole, and both are now serving God full-time. As one of the founding leading pastors of RevelationCityChurch, a Christ-centered organization at the heart of Sampaloc City of Manila, with a vision to build a community of families who loves Jesus and who serve others unselfishly. Currently celebrating his 6th year anniversary this week. Please welcome Pastor John Mateos Ong, followed by his wife, Pastor Monique Lopez-Ong, to share their views on the importance of character in finding and living your true life's purpose as a servant of God.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the importance of building character before one goes into business. So I just want to share my story, yung story ko sa imagination. Because before I was a photographer, I was shooting weddings. And one thing I discovered there was the problem with being a wedding photographer is that when you get booked for a day, hindi ka na pwedeng mabook ulit. So you can only do one wedding. So I was thinking, paano ka magkakaroon ng mas maraming weddings? So it was because of that I decided to train photographers. And these photographers, when we started the training, they got shocked that instead of me teaching them about the technicalities of photography, ang ginawa ko was I went through a book with them called Purpose Driven Life, and they were wondering kung anong connection nun sa photography, and I explained to them the importance of fixing the vessel first, which is your character, before you can be trained. Because I've trained a lot of people, hundreds, and most of them, pag hindi mo inayos yung character, yung skill nila, ang mangyayari, pride will seep in and it will become their downfall. And one more thing, the reason why I decided to use the book Purpose Driven Life was when I started off sa mga nung nag-start off ako sa aking mga profession, at first I was an event manager, and then when I became successful, I went into music. I was writing songs, and then nung nagkaroon ako ng hit song, when my song hit triple platinum, mamaya lipat na naman ako. And one of the reason na ganun yung nangyari was because I was just running on passion. With purpose is what will keep you going. So napaka-importante niyan. And so importante in any work that you get yourself to, malaman mo not only the what to do, but also why do you do it, because the why will keep you in the game. So that's my advice for all of you, and I hope that the message spoke to you guys.
Hello everyone, my name is Monique Ong, and it's my privilege to be able to share with you the message that we want to share today, which is the importance of character and finding your purpose. Now, I want to start off with, what is character? Diba? Character is your built up, your moral and your mental beliefs, right? That carries you. That is who you are. Now, character is not made overnight though. Character is something you build over time. And I say this na over time. For example, if you have the character of integrity, meaning the person you are in public is the same person that you are in private, and you build on that one, that's something that is practiced over time. You cannot expect someone to have integrity and not test it out. So I see that character is built over perseverance, over tribulations, over hardships. So kailangan madaan siya doon. Only when you see that it moves in that direction, that you actually build a what we call conviction. So first, it's this idea that you want to own it, and when you own it, it's a conviction. It's like, it's a non-negotiable. I will not do that. And so, or I will do this. Those things are important. Now, once you have your conviction, it has to be tested through seasons, through times, through the good times and the bad times. And guess what? As you continue and it builds on and you grow stronger, you know what? It becomes a character. And so that's how you build character. But character is so important if you're getting into anything. Let's say in the ministry, in community. So I also want to share my story. I remembered when I asked the Lord to be the CEO of our business. I remember during that time that everything that I was doing was all sin products, meaning I was serving events for alcoholic drinks, for cigarettes. So these were not obviously pleasing to the Lord. That's why it's called sin products, right? And so what happened was, when God said that He was going to be the CEO of our business and I was to surrender that, God initially asked me to surrender all these sin products. Now, I had the chance or the choice to say no, because I knew that it was important. I know where my bread and butter was coming from, and that's where the money was coming from. But I had to learn to grow in faith. And faith is one of the characters wherein you can't actually really see it, but you just believe because you know who you believe in. And this one, I placed my trust in Jesus Christ. So for the character of faith, even if I knew that I was going to let go of all these great things that was going to give me my earnings, I had to trust God. And you know, God was so good. Though I closed my doors to the sin products, He opened doors like Disney, like Coca-Cola, all these big companies that I didn't get to serve, but now I had space to serve them. And I was doing it with joy, and I was doing it in a way that was honoring God. So character was built through this time. Now, I wasn't always perfect, and that's why character is built through different kinds of situations. There was a situation wherein I was asked to do an event, and this event was to do a wakeboarding international event. Apparently, it fell on the Halloween season. Now, the client asked me to actually run a trick-or-treat and do all this scary stuff. Again, this is not pleasing to God, right? But at the time, I felt very stuck. I had to take a brother in Christ to tell me, how much is your soul worth? Are you really willing to do this and sever your relationship with the Lord? And you know what? I needed that kind of conviction. And so, yes, I will tell you, I did the event, but I did it grudgingly. And then the year after that, I already asked God, God, give me a way out. Give me a way out that I don't have to do these kinds of things. And you know what, my friends? God has been so good. Because I made it a conviction, and I said I wanted to honor God, and that was my purpose, to serve Him. As I was doing that, God honored it. I didn't have to do any of these Halloween things. And so, can you just see the beauty of what God is doing? Now, when you actually build on character, again, it starts with a belief, an idea, and then it has to be owned. It's a conviction. And then from the conviction, it's built over time through good times and bad times, tested over fire, over high waters, and then that's when it builds into a character. So it's so important that we build that, because that becomes our solid ground, our foundation for everything that we will do, and actually tells us what will make us successful or not. And so in business or even in our community, you know, I am just thankful to the Lord that He has honed my character in faith, my character in just really believing in God, that God will provide for provision. So even in this pandemic, there are seasons that you can really say, we don't have business, but God is in the business of really blessing His children. And so I got to see that firsthand. Why? Because I didn't do any shortcuts. I decided to just trust in the Lord, and God serve this purpose. So I really hope that in the characters that you build, it could be love. Like, you know, God is teaching you how to love, how to grow your heart bigger, to be generous. These are characters that have to be built over time. So like when someone asks, are you the type that is stingy, or are you willing to give? How about just the character of just being able to be a blessing, right? So even this, to be a peacemaker, for example, these things have to be worked on over time. And know that when you build all these characters, it leads you and it's weaponry for your purpose. And of course, for me, everything I do for the Lord. Whether I eat or I sleep, it's for the Lord. And so I pray that that's the purpose you also find. That when you guys do something, it's not just so that you can earn money, so that you can be popular, you have position and possessions. These are temporary. What is really solid is the purpose of knowing that you are the daughter and son of the King, and that you're serving the King of Kings and Lord of Lords in the best of your ability, with all your time, talent, and treasure. And this is what God is calling us for. So I hope this blessed you. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Pastor Jong and Pastor Monique Ong, for your wonderful message.
And congratulations to Revelation City Church latest album in celebration of its 6-year anniversary.
Thank you everyone for all your support. Please tune in weekly and don't forget to subscribe in our channel.
Hit the like button and share this video to spread God's word. See you next week. Bye!